Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a Screenwriter's Rant on Apache Junction. Apache Junction. Another Western from Saban Films. It looks pretty good. I gotta say, it's got a lot of derivative, and Thomas James is in it, the Punisher. It's got a lot of derivative Western stuff in it, but it looks solid, looks intense. We'll get into it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. Hollywoke, another novel, is one of them about the movie industry. And also the Pineys. Speaking of the Pineys, I'll be doing a book signing in Summers Point, New Jersey, across from Ocean City, New Jersey, at Level Up Entertainment. Level Up Entertainment, it's called. And you can find it online. There's a link to my book tour in the description here, as well as to Amazon and all my books. If you're in the area, come by on Saturday from 12 to 4. I don't know if I mentioned that in my other Screenwriter's Rant, but I'll mention it here. 12 to 4 at Summers Point, Level Up Entertainment. Now, this has a lot of Western tropes. It's got hangings, it's got shootings, it's got women in danger, it's got Union soldiers, it's got a stranger who comes in and just murders people, and, well, he doesn't just murder them. He's a gunfighter. He's the fastest gun in the West kind of thing, and he killed 3 guys. He has no fear. He looks good. He looks good. It just, again, it looks a little clean for Western. Thomas Jane is the bartender, the surly bartender. They're trying to make him a little rough and tumble. These guys look a little too fat to be in the Wild West, quite frankly. No offense. To be in the Wild West and to be that heavy, I think that would be a rarity, but, there are some guys who are heavy, maybe from drinking, I guess, but, or fat face. There's Thomas James with a pipe. I think they're trying to make him look older for this, more grizzled. It doesn't really come off, I think. I think that's more trying than anything else. Here they are. Is that a plastic pipe, by the way? I have to go back to that. Hold up. That looked like a plastic pipe for a second there. You can find that. Find that still. It looks like a plastic pipe. I don't think it is. Probably would. It just looks like plastic. Yeah, here's another gunfight in the street. So it's got all the elements. I like the music. I like the tone. It's called Apache Junction. They got Apaches in it. I haven't heard of any of the actors other than Thomas James. So, it looks good. It looks decent. It looks like it'll be a fun Western. A bit dark. A bit dark. Let's see. Written and directed by Justin Lee. Doing all the heavy lifting there. So, let's see. Thomas Jane is listed as just one of the cast. It's not with Thomas Jane. So he's actually in the movie. And it looks like he's in a good portion of it, although he's not the main character. So I'd be down for this. It's kind of like almost like a Dirty Harry sort of cowboy thing. He seems to be coming into town. Again, it looks really, really clean. Looks a little too clean. I don't know. See, like the hay bales on the right there. I don't know if you can see them or if my head is blocking them. That looks like they were placed there. It doesn't look like there's any reason for those hay bales on the right to be there. The whole thing looks like a set to me. And even this shot, I think it's designed to keep the back. They probably didn't have the money to do CGI backgrounds where they can erase all the cars and telephone poles and whatnot. So they had to shoot it like this to block most of it. And then they probably built one or both of those buildings or scouted them out so they could shoot this shot, and he may even be blocking buildings in the great distance. You don't know. That's a real problem when you're shooting a Western, right? You can't have a skyscraper in the background. You can't see, I don't know where they shot this. So, but for a Western, it looks fine. It looks fine. It looks okay. It looks low budget. I'll say that. It looks a little low budget. And it doesn't, I don't know, it still doesn't have the dirt that dirty feel of some westerns. It's got a little bit of it, not enough though. Not enough to make me believe. See, there's more hay bales. There's just hay bales everywhere. Wagon wheels. You could tell they dressed the set. That's not necessarily the way it all went down or the way it looked. I mean, why would they just have wagon wheels sitting there? This was a time when if you tripped and fell and broke your arm, you'd be really effed up. You could be effed up for the rest of your life. You wouldn't want a wagon wheel just sort of lying there, So you can see here in the background, it looks good. They might have built this shed, or they could have CGI'd it in. It's not that expensive to throw it in, but you could see they're trying to show as little of the background as possible, and there are buildings in the way. This may have been added. But the first act, pretty standard. I mean, there's not much of a story in the trailer. First act's going to be standard, stranger comes to town. It's a Wild West. Look out. People are out of control, and then he kills 3 guys, and then the sheriff's mad because he knew one of them, or he's related to one of them. So they want to get him, and the sheriff's corrupt, and he's heavy set, and Thomas Jane is, knows him or is a good guy and realizes, I got to side with this guy because I'm tired of this corruption. And the second act, it escalates, and they go after his woman. He falls in love with some woman, and then, final shootout at the end. But he looks badass. The main character looks badass. I'll say that. And that's why I would see this movie, because he's pretty badass. And it's got, it's got the tone of a Western. So I'm willing to suspend my disbelief and see this movie. And I like Westerns. And Thomas Jane's okay. He's all right. He wasn't a very good Punisher, but that kind of wasn't his fault. But he's been in other stuff too. So he's a decent actor. Decent enough. So this will be okay. I think it'll be okay. Apache Junction. It's a good name. It's a good name for a Western. That's a Western name, right? There's nothing else. You're not going to say, let's go see Apache Junction. It's a wacky coming-of-age comedy. No, it's a Western. Apache Junction. This is the kind of movies they used to make way back in the day. They cranked these Westerns out all day long. And that's it for me and Little Joan today. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you stop by Summers Point, New Jersey, 12 to 4 at Level Up Entertainment. There. I got it all out. All right. We'll see you next time.